willing to.
Right, and I'm willing,
talk to
and I'm one of the persons willing to do that, right.
Okay, good.
So that's another, besides the utility issue, that's another thing that we're willing to do to just educate.
How often do your various neighborhood groups get together and talk, collaborate? How often do your various neighborhood groups and associations get
Never.
together, cross-functionally?
Never.
Because there's only basically one association, Rockland Association, that's in Rockland. Bell County Civic is the
That's right.
has been for a couple of years. That's why it's like, they're the Rhode
Look,
Island,
we got
talking
Pat
to
Mack.
the United States. You know, we don't, none of us devour the people, because nobody else, the 5-9 or anywhere else, got to talk about it. We don't have
If the city really, really wants people to stop feeding the deer instead of trying to work toward a deer trap transport process program, I recommend, as Deer Austin has consistently recommended, that they stop working with NWACA and the people who want to kill the deer. If you really want people to stop feeding, get sympathetic voices, get the people who care about the deer on board, and you'd get a much better response. Try sending some positive deer messages, not constantly negative deer messages. People would get on board with no feeding, and we'd also like to see some other deer management happening. And for people who want to keep your flowers, put up a damn fence, okay? That's all I've got to say. If you're going to live in deer habitat and you want a landscape, put up a fence.
Hey, I'm going to ask everybody to be respectful of your neighbors, okay? Everybody's coming out here by choice, and everybody is speaking what I assume from the heart. So I would ask everybody to be respectful of each other as you have your opportunity to speak with your group. What I hear you're saying, though, is that you would like the city to work equally with all the neighborhood stakeholders. So what's going to be important, you'll notice that on the, I think it's the flyer that has the deer on it, is if you are involved in a neighborhood group or some sort that doesn't already have a relationship with Joe or with Helping Human Services, please give them your contact information so you guys can develop a dialogue. Yes, sir, you have your hand up.
I'd like to respond to that, putting up the damn fence.
Sorry, the darn fence.
We did that. We did that some years ago. We lived just a block from here on Rock Ledge Drive. We lived there 41 years before there were deer in this neighborhood.
Yes. There were deer.
Some years, we've been here 41 years.
That's bullshit.
Hey, guys, who's that?
Let me speak. I want to respond about putting up the fence. We have always had a fenced backyard. Unfortunately, it wasn't a deer-proof fence. It wasn't that high. And one year, some years ago, I let our dachshund out the back door at 6:30 in the morning, go out the backyard as usual. And all of a sudden, I heard him screaming. So I ran out there, and there was a doe that had him down and was in the process of stomping him to death. So I ran out there, which was dumb on my part, but I mean, I ran out there, hollering, waving my hand, and that doe looked at me, and I could tell she was deciding whether to attack me or to jump back over the fence and leave. Fortunately, she decided to jump back over the fence and leave. So our dachshund did survive for a few months and finally died. I'm pretty sure it was injured. So then we did turn around and spend more money, remove the old fence, and put up a very tall fence in an effort to keep the deer out of the backyard. And that's worked pretty well, although we've had fawns that come through the fence. It's a wrought iron fence. They've come through 2 different years. I've had to rescue fawns that get stuck between the columns there on the fence. And we've rescued the fawns. So anyway, we've done all that for your suggestion. We still have a problem. When we left our house this evening to come to the meeting, as we were leaving our house, we noticed there were 8 deer that, ran across our yard. And, we're not going to fence in the front yard because that's pretty inconvenient. You always have to open your gates to drive in and out of your driveway. So we've done it. We fenced our yard twice. And we've done all the things people have asked to do. I have gone to the deer feeder on our block in person, knocked on the door, introduced myself, handed him a pamphlet that we'd been provided by the Texas Parks and Wildlife about why it's bad to feed the deer. And this gentleman told me that the people working for Texas Parks and Wildlife Department are idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. He knows what's best for the deer, and the deer corn is good for the deer.
So let me interrupt you
So
there.
it- well, I
want to make sure everybody else has an opportunity to speak to you. I appreciate the story you told. What I hear you saying is that fencing alone is not always a solution to the deer, and you have made efforts to talk to people who are feeding the deer and not necessarily been successful.
That's right. I was not successful. At that point, I left. I realized, that this guy wasn't going to be reasonable about
I want to make
expecting
sure
any
everybody else has an
information.
opportunity. I appreciate you coming home. Did you say this moment, lady under hand up? Just moments.
We understand that you beefed up the website, put all the deer information on one spot, which is great. However, there are still, we put through some of the links, there are still references, a lot of references to shooting and trapping, a lot of references to Lyme disease. There is no Lyme disease. So for a city that says that lethal harvesting is off the table, the website doesn't reflect it. So that's one thing. And then also, websites are very passive. A lot of people don't go to a website, so you need some push, social media, push technology to get the message out.
Okay, good. So what I heard saying is that we need to make sure that the websites are factually correct, okay, and
Relevant to this area.
saying the correct message relevant to this area. And we also need to push that information. Sir, you've been waiting patiently.
Well, there's deer on the out towards the deer when I was a kid, all over the woods over here.
Right.
So there were deer. And the thing is, it's like, his neighbor is feeding them, he said, like, with, Folgers cans of corn, and his neighbor's feeding them. I mean, I think that the solution is obviously y'all need to, videotape these guys and get a little evidence and let them know ahead of time, hey, if you don't stop feeding, this is going to happen. And then another solution, there's a lot of people that enjoy the deer on their yard. I don't have a problem with them in my yard. I mean, they come to my yard, I don't care. But if you don't like it, there's a lot of non-lethal ways you can do to keep deer out of your yard, besides the fencing. You can,
The water
there's a red
spray.
rider. I'm going to tell you. Seriously, it's not going to like hurt the deer, but it's going to annoy the deer. You can train these like little herds to stay out if they're coming to a neighbor. With a lot of pepper spray, I'm serious.
Right, so there may
They
be.
should maybe get provisions for people to run them out of their yard if they have a big problem. They're not anywhere else.
President goes blind, yes, on the pepper spray.
Glenn.
So there are a lot of different ways of managing a deer in your yard. Some of them may be more appropriate to others, some may be more attractive to you than ideal than others, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Yes,
I'm new to the neighborhood. Everybody is Cindy.
And where do you live?
I live around the corner and down the hill from here now, but I come from Terrytown where we did not have deer yet. I understand there have been deer sightings in Terrytown now. But we really love it here, and I did hear about the deer before I moved. The day that we bought the house, I noticed the deer lined up at my neighbor's house like the 5 o'clock special at Luby's. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I've got deer food. I said, really? What are you feeding them? He said, dog food and corn. And he had these great big buckets, like you buy the pickles in and stuff. And I looked at him and I said, isn't that illegal? And he said, oh, yeah, but I really like to do it, and, not like that. So, and he's not the 97-year-old woman that you were talking about. I think your ideas about education are really good, but if you've raised a teenager, you know that the behavior doesn't change until it gets too painful to continue it. So if all you're doing is handing out $200 fines and you've only handed out 2 of them in a 2-year period, that's essentially doing nothing. My suggestion is raise the fine till it hurts. Make it $1,000. Don't hand out any more warnings. Hand out the citations. And if you make it more, I'm sure my neighbor spent $200 on corn and dog food, but he's not going to spend $1,000. If he's fined $1,000, he'll stop. Maybe.
It's a great example of a policy issue that council would have to take up as they consider this issue.
That's what I'd like to see.
So you
The city of Austin already advocates deer-resistant gardens. In other words, xeriscape gardens that conserves water, that doesn't attract deer. It's a win-win situation. And the website is growgreen.org. And here's a pamphlet about it. So it's already City of Austin policy to advocate for xeriscape gardens and for deer-resistant feeding and gardens.
Is there a link to that, Joe, on
Yes.
your website?
Yes.
Okay, so there might be another communication avenue to get pamphlets like that and share with people as well.
Yeah, I'd like to